would you share just a little bit about your story? Because I know that's what touches people, like why you chose beauty control and why to be a director, and how your story changed over the years.
Well, I'm 37 years old. Cherie and I her daddy had died, and we had moved to Richmond, Virginia, and she'd gone to high school, and I went to college, and I got my degree and graduated at 37 with a degree in image marketing, because I have a cosmetology background, had a hair salon for 14 years, but I wanted my degree, and I had actually taken everything that I had and invested in our lifestyle. We didn't change our lifestyle. I went to college, we paid for that. And during that time, when her daddy died, her best friend's mother died 4 months later. And that was my husband's wife. And so they introduced us, the children introduced us. And it was a time after I graduated from college. We got married, we had a nice wedding, and then I was down to my last bit of money. I really had like $5 when I went to training in my own checking account. And you know what? We had started out, I had $100,000 cash, which we had invested again in college education, home, car, 280ZX lifestyle, because we wanted to still live the lifestyle that we had lived. And I didn't meet with the broker, and the broker said you can either take the money and invest and get dividends. And I said, I'd really rather invest in myself, Shauna, like you. We shared that story, and be able to provide for my children and grandchildren. So when I came out of college, I gave myself 6 months to look for a real job. But at that time, we ran a lot of ads on image consulting, just like this new skincare program is going to change your life and mine again. There's a lot of advertising, so I'd go for a job interview and I'd read an ad about beauty control, and I'd go for a job interview and I'd read an ad about beauty control. And when it got down to finally, I was hired by an insurance company, which I'm a numbers person, but I didn't want to be cornered. And then I went to sign an agreement with AT&T, and it said you can only take a 15-minute break. You had to sign that you can only take a 15-minute break, and I thought, God, I've never had a real job. I've always been a hairdresser. I've owned my own salon since I was 19. Why do I think I could do that? I may last a week. So I called the person that I knew to recruit me, like Melissa. The same call that Melissa made tonight, I made to a woman 3 hours away, and said, you know what, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to build my own life. When I joined Beauty Control, and I've never hit it, I joined because I wanted a job, I wanted money, I didn't want to get out from the kids, I didn't want to socialize, I did spas to meet people to recruit. And I'm sharing that with you because the product is going to stand on its own. But every time that you have a spa, you have a group of people that you can share life and share the opportunity with. And that's what's going to change your life and change everybody else's life. My team last month, my average team sales was $500,000 a month.
Wow.
Now do you think, could you physically see me picking up that product and ordering it and delivering it? No. So, when I joined the business, and I hope you take this as a mind shift tonight, to do a spa, yes, you are going to share the product. You are going to sell the product. You start with collecting cash. I still collected cash. I collected cash on my way here on a phone call, right, Rick? I always collect cash because I sell skincare, because skincare repeats. That's short-term cash. But long-term cash is to be able to think that you have the opportunity to change somebody else's life. And 23 years ago, my first year I made $43,000. My second year I made $63,000. My third year $83,000. My fourth year, $102,000. This year we'll make over $200,000 with the company. And you know what? again, you look at, I joined the company at 37. I am retirement age. I can get Social Security. Do I want 1,200 or do I want 15,000? Do I want to live in the United States and be able to come see my grandchildren when I want to? Or do I want to sit back and take a handout? I don't want it. I want to keep working. I hope that the day that I pass, I sell a lipstick or a skincare. That's my goal. You know, it's just changed my life. It gets me out. And Ernest and I have a really good time. We work together. And we had the opportunity when Cherie and her brother and sister were developing their own lives, instead of sitting in that empty nest and just waiting for somebody to come see us, we picked up, packed up, and moved to Phoenix, Arizona, and lived there for 8.5 years. We move an average of about every 5 years. It's time to move again. And you know what? We can do it because we joined Beauty Control. We can do it because we joined a direct selling company that gave us the opportunity to kick butt every day. And you know what? We still do. Every day, my passion is to talk with people. Adam listened to our messages tonight. I just called and got the messages. And it was really neat because there were calls from, you know, Iowa and California and Arizona. It was about 10 states that there were messages from. You know, you look at Canada, it is wide open. You know, Tia, we had the opportunity to talk, and she stayed over to attend this meeting, and she's from Niagara Falls. Think of all the people that you know in different places in Canada that you would like to share this dream with. Do you know of anybody that needs extra money today? Anybody?
Who doesn't want extra money?
Right. Who doesn't want extra money? Do you know of anybody that has a dream, like Monique, of instead of going to work today, and as my directors say, they get to wake up naturally? Honey, I don't get out of bed before 9 o'clock. I just don't. That's when I wake up. Now, I don't go to bed till about 2. But how would you like to do that? Wake up naturally. And we're talking about young directors. We have a team of very, very young directors. And, you know, everybody in this room, where it didn't take me but 6 months because I really kicked butt, but the average director was promote up in 2 years, and today it's 5 months, like Nancy did it, and guess what? 161 women in 2010 promoted up to director. And Cherie, the part that you really want me to tell is probably going to training and having $5 and buying $2,500 in product and calling Ernest and saying, honey, I just wrote a bad check. It's $1,419. And he said, I trust you. And you know what? That was a really good decision on his part because, you know, we've just had an incredible, incredible life. We've got to travel in all of the 50 states by air and car, and we've been in 26 countries so far. So, and many times in a lot of the places. So we just lived a really, really rich life because we choose every day to do beauty control.
What are the advantages of being in a new area like this?
Oh my God, my favorite thing to do is new territorial development. I get bored.
So I'm one area?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, it's a new area because we're just really beginning to see growth here. You know, we have laid a very strong foundation, but it's exciting. It's really exciting to meet new people. And one of the advantages is you don't have. When I joined Beauty Control, you're in the same place I was in the States. When I joined Beauty Control, do you know what everybody said to me? Birth control? You're selling birth control? I'm like, no.
Anything but.
Yeah. In Canada. So, you know, it's great because nobody knows knows about us.